Lights are out. They're about to hit the loud pedal. They're in the gas, greens in the air. Full song, rock'em sock'em style at the Big E. Dwayne Chamberlain put a slide job underneath Ostra. That was for second place because Brian Roman's the man on the move. A little hobble and wobble out of four for Roman, but he steadies her and takes that number 49 car back down to turn number one.
Chamberlain punts the 1J at Jeff Babcock down the front straightaway, and he pushes them all the way through 1 and 2. Here comes Chamberlain. Now he's bottled up. He's bottled up behind Babcock down the back straightaway.
The Jedi takes it 3 wide, not before Babcock shoots it through the hole, and he'll lead him into third position. Roman continues to lead. Chamberlain in second. Then it's Jeff Babcock in third. He almost cashed it in, and the second, third place cars are on his tail now. Over at turn number 1 and 2. Babcock right behind Dwayne Chamberlain, and they have gathered up Roman. Here comes Babcock, Chamberlain, and the Jedi, Jerry Bowerstock. Roman still leads, but Chamberlain pulls the trigger. He's right on his tail, right down to the turn number 1. Goes to the top side of the racetrack. Babcock's with him, and now Chamberlain looks to the inside of Roman out of turn 2.
What a run for Chamberlain. Now he gets a little bit of breathing room. Your leader, Brian Roman, gets a little breathing. Oh, Chamberlain almost wrecks into the lap car. And then 12B, he gets it back into turn 1 and 2. Here he comes again. Chamberlain now trying on the outside. He's going to cross over. Come to the inside. Going to try to pick up the lead.
Call the psych ward. The insane one has escaped. Dwayne Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana, lurking and harassing Roman. Now 4 cars nose to tail under the flag stand. Down to the 1. Chamberlain still trying to look high. Here comes Babcock to the bottom. 3 cars battle for the lead with a Jedi, Jerry Bowerstock, running in 4th. Right behind him. Again, they're in 3 and 4.
Like Ozzy said, the Bowersock's machine up against the wall. Now they're nose to tail. Bowersock's to the inside of Babcock. Third position changes hands, but here comes Babcock again on the outside before Bowersock's gets lined up in front of him. Babcock gets a huge run down the back straightaway. First through third, nose to tail.
Phenomenal racing. They have to go 3 wide, and now Chamberlain gets into Roman. Roman will spin. Babcock will take the lead as he crosses a stripe. Oh, it had to happen. They were racing way out of bounds, racing in the outer limits.
Jeff Babcock and Dwayne Chamberlain. Chamberlain, your leader, coming down on the outside line. Here we go.
Listen to the music of high horsepower excitement. At Eldora Speedway, they're 4 wide, back to the 3rd, and Roman's in that mix. He's moved up to the 5th spot. Chamberlain leads Babcock and Bowersock through 3 and 4. Here comes Roman. He's got about 10 car lengths to make up to catch him. He's working on him right now, trying to get around Sarkey. But slower. Here comes Babcock. He's beginning to stoke the fire now. Chamberlain looks underneath Gordon. Bowersock goes to the top of the racetrack. Tries to squeeze to the outside of Babcock. They're racing. 3 cars for the lead out of 4. The white flag's in the air. Last time around, it's a Jedi. Goes underneath Babcock in turn 1. Yellow flag's out. Yellow flag waves. Ted Poorman is spun in turn 4. Bowersock, the Jedi. Jerry Bowersock down low. Chamberlain up top. They're in the gas. Here we go. Babcock looks to the inside. Digs way to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll drift up. Bowersock got by. Chamberlain's the leader. Out of turn 2, Babcock got in the wall. One last move for Bowersock. Out of turn 4, Richmond, Indiana's Dwayne Chamberlain. We'll see the checkered flag. You got Chad Wilson out there. He's got a say in it. Luke Hall, Kirk Jeffries, Steve Irwin, and the host and cast of characters. They're in the gas. The green's in the air. We're underway.
Sheldon Hansfield slides way up high. The crossover move goes to Chad Wilson. But here we go. Sheldon Hansfield gets the advantage down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide.
That was a veteran move by the young kid, but that car's pushing hard. The 93. Hunjow still holds on to it. He'll lead him at the strike. Battles for second. That's where he finds Dallas Hewitt. Dallas Hewitt's moved up to second. There's 3 other cars hot on his heels out of turn 2.
Dustin Smith still back in that 22nd position. Tony Bieber now back to the 7th spot as we take a look at the points up near the front, though. It's young Sheldon Hansfield all the way around. He's starting to open up a huge lead over Dallas Hewitt.
Getting after it. Again over at turn 2. That battle for second. Hewitt and Hall going at it tooth and nail. Hall's got that spot right now. Hansfield has an advantage, though, as they work back across the stripe. His lead a little more than a half a straightaway. Sheldon Hodenshield up front. Luke Hall is going to be barking at his back door. Here we ready to go green. 6 in the books. 25 make up the distance, and they're in the gas.
Good start by Sheldon Hodenshield, but here comes Luke Hall closing in fast off of turn number 2. He's going to take the battle into turn 3. They're right up against the wall, riding the rim of this half-mile oval.
Hodenshield now, close on that traffic. Over in turn 3, he'll step up the banking. There comes Hall, right up against the wall. He's shut it down to 3 car lengths. Luke Hall is on the racer's rear in turn 1.
He bounced her off of the turn 4 wall, Ozzy, and that gave him the momentum. They are nose to tail down the back straightaway. Luke Hall trying to dive low. Sheldon Hodenshield shuts the door on him, slides up the racetrack. Here comes Luke Hall. Luke Hall side by side.
13 laps complete, and Hodenshield continues to lead even after a valiant charge by Luke Hall. Now Hodenshield settling down and working through that traffic in the back straightaway, picking his line, low or high. He dives to the bottom, drifts up top. Hall still running in second. Dallas Hewitt in third. Leader back across the stripe. Green flag racing continues here at the Big E. Hodenshield continuing to bob and weave his way through the traffic. What a great job this young kid is doing. Hall in second. Dallas Hewitt still running at third, and they're having to work the back markers through 3 and 4.
At one point, Luke Hall had to make up 3 lap cars on Sheldon Hodenshield. Now Hodenshield to the inside, takes him off at the top, slides back up to the top of the racetrack. Hall gets a big bite coming off the 2.
One car hard in the wall in turn 2, skims off of it, raises up the concrete dust. We stay green.
Hall still now closing in on Sheldon Hodenshield. They're going to have lap traffic to deal with. Bumper to bumper. Hall goes to the inside.
Hodenshield throws the block down low.
Here they go. Luke Hall slides back up, loses his momentum on Sheldon Hodenshield. Hodenshield now beginning to open up his lane once again. Lap traffic clearing up for the leaders, but what a tight race.
They have opened up some daylight in front of them now after getting rid of traffic, and now they're out of the lane. Slide job in turn number 1. Hall tried it. Hodenshield denied him. Went right up there and zoomed back by him. They're working lap number 19. The leader, Sheldon Hodenshield, as one car slows in front of him, he'll take the left-hand turn down to the pits. Here's the leader. 19 laps complete.
After 19 laps, 6 to go. Dustin Smith, your boss points leader, is in the 9th position. There we go. Battle for the lead once again. These 2 are still at it. Luke Hall now gonna go way low in turn number 3. Sliding on out. He can't hold it.
He'll make it work. He'll lead lap 20. Luke Hall has taken the lead with 5 to go. Hodenshield right there trying to wheelie back in, but Hall sets sail now into the Ohio sunset. Here he goes into turn number 3. Hodenshield's going to have to try to wheelie back in, and time's running out. Luke Hall zipped to the outside of 2 traffic, and a red flag's out. Big problem in turn 2. One car upside down. Red flag immediately comes out with 3 or 4 cars involved. 54 Tony Bieber in the 3T. They're slowly creeping through 3 and 4. About to hit the loud pedal. Looking for the green flag. Luke Hall fires them. They're in the gas. The green's in the air.
Sheldon Hodenshield looked a little bit to the inside. Luke Hall knew what he was doing. Hall rides the outside lane. He's got the whole shot going around. Sheldon Hodenshield now falls into the clutches of Dallas Hewitt in the 2M car. Those 2 cars. Now Hewitt goes to the inside in turn number 3. Ozzy, he slides all the way up to the wall.
Slide job under Hodenshield. Hodenshield will pay him back, but will bring it back to second. All the while, Luke Hall leads him out of turn number 2. Working down the back straightaway on lap number 24. They're about to complete that lap. Now Hewitt slipped. Hodenshield got back by him. White flags in the air for Luke Hall.
One more time around Luke Hall, but here comes the battle. Sheldon Hodenshield in the second spot. He might be in the clear. Dallas Hewitt bobbling on the last lap. He's trying to remake the ground up. Down the back straightaway, Dallas Hewitt trying to inch ever closer to the 93 of Sheldon Hodenshield. But coming out on the outside, your winner tonight, Luke Hall. Holding them down right along the inside, waiting for that magical flag. Here it is, green flag, we're underway, and look at that jump, Harlan Leppo. But here comes the outside line with Brian Knuckles. Oh, look, they're 3 wide already, Ozzy. push all the way through the 91 of Derek Minshew.
Oh, yeah, they're getting after it now. Down the back straightaway. Leppo with the lead over in turn number 3. Checking his knuckles, and the yellow's out. Oh,
turn
look
3.
out.
Everybody misses her. Well, we got a car up in the wall.
Wheel loose, wheel rolling down out of turn 4 after the 0-2 pounded the concrete in between 3 and 4. Look out, there's a wheel coming at you.
Coming down through turns 3 and 4. The green flag is out. Here we go once again for the Legends. The 59 car, Brian Knuckles, uses that outside line to gain the bite and goes around the 4 car, Robert Stowe. He's got the lead coming up off of turn number 2, but it's going to be a dogfight down the back straightaway.
We'll watch him work now as a couple of cars going side by side for the second position. They're trying to gang up on Brian Knuckles, who has that lead, thinking about making it 3 wide. It's 2.5 wide, if you call it that, as they come out of 4 across the stripe. Knuckles, your leader. Sean McPherson running in second. Robert Stowe in third. He's in the 4 car. Derek Minshew in the 91 runs 4th. Richard Miller in the 38's 5th. Battles for second right now at the back end of the back straightaway.
One guy you want to keep an eye on, that 66 car, Kyle Baugh, all the way back from the 22nd starting spot. He's up to 11th in that number 66 machine as they come across the line. 6 laps complete, 18 laps scheduled in this feature. There's still 3 wide going into the turns.
Those guys are rocking and rolling. Look at the cushion daddy up there. Nelson Stewart rushing 3 wide right up against the wall down the back straightaway. Leaders head back to the stripe. Turn 1, now headed Stewart up and over 4, 5, 6 times, and the car slowly comes to a bounding stop and rests on its tires. Red flags on the speedway. A horrific crash at the end of the front straightaway involving the 44 machine of Nelson Stewart. One other car back up against the wall. They just ran out of racing room there, Kyle, and will await as safety officials are on the scene immediately.
Absolutely, the best in the business. Eldora Speedway safety crew attending to that 44S machine. And Ozzy, we had talked about he'd been riding up there near the top the whole time. He just ran out of room.
Well, they actually wheel hopped here just past the start-finish line, and that started it, and what ended it was a violent series of flips and crashes. We will give you an update, but currently Nelson Stewart is conscious. He is talking to the crew, so they'll assess him momentarily and gingerly will work. He is getting out of the car. Nelson Stewart's out of the car.
Minshew trying to come back now on the bottom. White flag left. We've got a great battle going here. Robert Stowe and Sean McPherson.
Leader Brian Knuckles out of turn 4 sees a checkered flags wave. He's your winner. Knuckles takes the victory. In second is Robert Stowe. McPherson in third. The distance as they creep slowly at 3 and 4. They'll hit the loud battle greens in the air. Paul Pardo goes to the outside of the double X for the 3rd spot. The battle's for the lead. Heyman will try to hold off Ruff. The double X of Richard Patton's not done either. He's down beneath Pardo. Scramble, 4 cars up front, battling for the lead.
No stranger to danger, Oz. He's riding the outside, trying to get back around that 3rd spot. Now he wants a second, but he gets the door shut by Billy Ruff. Richard Patton and the double X to the inside, trying for second.
They better not waste too much time because Jason Heyman's trying to set sail in the Ohio evening. Down the back straightaway. He's got about a 13-car length advantage over in turn 3. Here comes Billy Ruff.
Billy Ruff tries to slide, make it stick, but does not work. Richard Patton gets around, and now Jim Pardue gets around too. All the way around on the outside, but here comes Billy Ruff back on the inside.
No stranger to danger. Paul Pardo trying to gain ground on Heyman, but Heyman will stretch it out of turn 2. Meanwhile, Parton comes back to life, digs into Pardo, and here comes Barney Craig from 4th.
What a battle into turn number 3 for the top 4 position. Jason Heyman setting sail again, but Patton battling back for that 2nd spot. And now Pardue's got someone to deal with in Craig for the 4th spot.
And they're racing right up against the wall on that cushion out of turn number 2. Patton has been wrestling a loose race car, but he's given it all she's got. He's chopped it down to a car length and a half. Closing in on the leader over in turn 3 and 4. Again, that car wiggles midway into 3 and 4. He regains his composure and zooms back, trying to track down the leader in turn 1.
Only 3 laps to get it done now, Ozzy. Patton still still continues to close in on him. Faster again for the third consecutive lap is that double X over your leader, Jason Heyman. We still got a good battle going on in the back. Barney Craig will not leave Paul Pardo alone.
This time Patton handled it smoothly through 3 and 4. Gained a little more ground on the race leader. Chopped it down to less than a half a second, and he's closed on him out of turn 2. Half a car length separate the front 2. They'll race into turn 3. Patton is there. He's knocking on the door. He looks for air beneath him. He'll bring it down to the bottom, side by side of the white flag.
Patton has got him in his crosshairs, looking to pull the victory. Pulls up right behind him in turns 1 and 2. Now he's going to look low on the inside out of turn 2. He's there at the door. Richard Patton
into turn 3. Patton down low. Heyman up top. Almost touched out of 4. That'll give it to Heyman. Second flag wave. Richard Patton comes home in second. Battle for third. It'll be Paul Pardo in third.